What's up everyone, V here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Transformers mainline Voyager class, Optimus Prime, as he appears in the brand new movie, Transformers Rise of the Beasts, a movie I am very much hyped for. Go check out my Bumblebee Studio Series figure to get more in-depth opinions on the movie, but briefly explain, I am very much hyped for the movie. Haven't been this hyped for a Transformers movie in a while. Mostly because there hasn't even been a Transformers movie in a while. But I think the last Transformers movie I was just genuinely excited for was Age of Extinction. Because I'm going to be honest, even from the trailers, I didn't really care or wasn't too excited for The Last Knight. And Bumblebee, I was decently excited, but still, I didn't watch it until I saw it, until I rented it after it came out. But this one, I'm gonna be there. Hopefully opening night. Probably by myself, because I'm the only one in the family that genuinely is passionate about Transformers. Also, sorry if you hear noises in the back. Those are birds, because, I can never have peace when I'm making a video. At least it's not a train. But yeah, and, this is Optimus as he appears in the movie, and I gotta say, not the biggest fan of the design for him in this movie. Don't get me wrong, I love G1 Optimus Prime's design, but it's like they tried to make this design, they fumbled it so hard, I gotta say. It's like the Bumblebee movie design for him was perfect, and it's like they tried to take that and mess it up as much as they could. Why is there so much gray on him? I think the CGI renders had to be completely redone for Rise of the Beasts, and they couldn't just reuse the CG renders from Bumblebee because it's different companies. But that's no excuse as to why he's so gray. This figure's really gray. A good bit of that is because it's a mainline figure and it's not insanely painted well, but also because he's just that gray in the movie. And the CG renders and promo art like this make him look so good, but when you see him in the actual trailers, something's just off. I feel like the red needs to be way stronger, and there needs to be more of it. There's way too much gray. Not even Bayverse Prime had that much gray. But I digress. It still looks pretty alright, and I'm still hyped to see it in action in the movie. And this figure, I'd say, captures it really well. Of course, there's that Studio Series retool of the Bumblebee movie, Optimus. And yeah, that figure is definitely going to blow this one out of the water when it releases. But I think it's going to be in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. So it's going to be a Target exclusive, which means I'll probably never own it. But anyway, this figure, I'd say, is actually pretty dope for what it is. But let's get into the box, because it actually is pretty interesting. You got Optimus Prime. I can't do a Prime impression that well. Autobot symbol, Transformers, Rise of the Beasts, Flames Fiery, 6+, Hasbro, Transformers. Is 6+ what they... Oh. So wait, you can play with a mainline figure when you're 6, but Studio Series, you gotta wait till you're 8. Also, here's just Studio Series next to the main line. You can definitely see how much they are different. But yeah, it's strange. But yeah, they got this nice shot of Prime pointing at you, being like the one World War II poster be like, I want you to join the US military. He's like, I want you to lay down your life to fight the greater good against Unicron. Even though you're a tiny fleshling boy and you'll probably get stepped on by Scourge and die instantly. But yeah, and it carries on onto this side. Authentic, another Autobot logo. And I really like the, it's harder to see, let me turn it to the side, the whole, jungle temple vibe it's got going on. You got all these nice symbols and everything. You got, etchings in the back of, Autobot symbol, Decepticon symbol down there, some, Aztec line looking stuff. Got a Predacon logo back there. Maybe Rhinox there. Pretty exciting stuff. Then got a different shot, I think, of Prime. Yeah, it's a different shot of Prime. Voyager class, and I'd go through it, but then I'm just ripping off MK. MK? No. What's his name? What? Why'd I forget his name? Hold up. MGO, not MK. Jesus Christ. Whew. I feel past me has died from that huge blunder I just made. But yeah, I got an Autobot logo there, and on the back, got nice glam shots of Prime, the truck, 20 steps, Optimus Prime, Autobot logo, authentic Hasbro stuff back. There we go. Bringing the figure in. He is pretty solid. I did see I think the reason why he's a little smaller is, I'm basing this off of the Prime vs. Prime review. He said that to make it more in scale with the Voyager class Primal from the main line. And I guess that makes sense. And even then, the scaling isn't completely awful. He still scales pretty well with a lot of figures. But his one and only accessory is his Ion Blaster. There's the train. And he doesn't have this in the movie. He has like an arm cannon and like swords. So it's odd that they gave him this. He's got a little clip there. Nicely detailed. And of course, ports in his hand. And he can go blast people. Blast some Decepticons. And not violently murder them because he isn't Bayverse Prime. Man, I still feel hurt inside I got his name wrong. Because I watched him so much when I was younger. I just feel like I failed. I failed him. I failed myself, really. Please forgive me for my horrific sin. But yeah, and if you don't want it in his hands, you can kinda port it on the back. You could kinda spread the wheels a bit and have it peg in there. It's an interesting look. I don't know if that's like an official way to put it, but there's a port back there, and I can't think of any other reason why that's there. But of course, you can give them other people's weapons, because they're the same ports, but I'm not going to. So yeah, I honestly really like it. I feel like this figure cuts a miles better silhouette than the Bumblebee movie Optimus from the Studio series, because he had those like giant hinges and was way blockier. I feel like this one cuts a really nice silhouette. I mean, look at that. That is Prime. That is just Prime right there. And yeah, let's get into the details. Looking at the head sculpt is one of my few complaints with this figure. It's small. Bringing in Bumblebee, you realize how small that head is. It's my only real complaint with the figure, because everything else scales really well. It's just the head, because it's so hard to even see the details. But he's got a lot of nice sculpt work. I'm just goofing all over the place with this video. His eyes, I think, are painted blue. There is light piping, which, let me whip out a flashlight, see if that, okay, it does work. But again, you need like a bright as hell light in the back of his head to make it actually glow. That's why I don't care for light piping, but it blends in really well. And it's, for the size, it's got a lot of nice sculpt work. It even sculpted all the stuff on his battle mask. But I think the eyes are painted on, even though they are clear, because they do stand out decently well. Got silver there, got his Prime arches there. Then come down to his chest. You got the window titties. If you push the head down, you can have it down, which I do think, like, bringing it out a bit, I do think that is a kind of cool look. Of course, you need to splay them apart, because Prime don't keep them titties close. He got them bad boys open and flapping in the wind. But if you wanted to have it like more a closed look, like a Legends class figure, like this guy, or maybe a vaguely more accurate G1 look, you can. You just have to push it down a bit and then close it and then pull it back up, because this does get in the way a bit. Got mirrors there, the weird guard things, because he is a way more armored up truck in the movie. And then got all that nice mechanical detail. Not an ounce of it is painted. But here's what I mean. Like, they could have had, like, at least these side parts be red and just keep the middle gray, but no, it's all gray. That sucks. Then come down to the back. It's not accurate, but I do think it handles the kibble really well, because there's not really anything there, and I do like the wheels on the back. That's a unique looking thing. Then come to the arms. Got the little stripe there with, I think, lights? Not 100% sure. We got nice Autobot logos stamped right there. Whatever that is. They got the smokestacks on the side with this fin thing. I don't know what the point of the fin thing is. Then come down to the forearms. Got a little bit of nice detail. This forearm is entirely gray and it's painted red, which is interesting considering the fact that the only gray part is this. So you think they would just painted that, but then you got this arm panel, which is the side of the truck, but it does collapse and reveal some nice detail. Even though this sticks out, it doesn't bother me too much. You even have that little detail right there, which I didn't even notice for a while. Then you got his hands, got some nice guards. Of course, his fingy sculpted. And for some reason, he's just got black on his crotch. I don't know if that's accurate to the movie or not, because I don't have this design memorized yet. They got where the yellow should be, but I don't know if it's yellow in the movie. I think the studio series has a yellow, but I can't remember if it's yellow in the movie. They come down to his thighs, and like I said in the Bumblebee review, this figure does one thing that most Transformers figures, at least of recent times in studio series and all that, don't do. It hardly has any hollow bits, because like, turn to the back, the only real hollow bits are there and right here, and I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, usually all of this would be hollow, but they did something clever with the transformation where these things come back. Oh, that came off. But they come back, covered up, and it's solid, and it looks really nice. Again, got some nice sculpted details there. Got a little skirt piece, which is really thin, but doesn't look like it's going to break anytime soon. They come down to his beefy legs, and there's not a whole lot of blue, which kind of sucks. But still, you got his wheels here, classic Prime look, lights. Are these like the back tail lights of the truck? I don't know. They come down to the stompers and little toesy-woesies there. Got the trailer hitch there. And that's about it. He is a pretty solid figure. I mean, I've had him for about a couple weeks now, maybe even a month, because, you know, I take forever to get to reviewing things. It's been like 10 days since the Bumblebee review. I just get busy with life sometimes. But yeah, he's got only a rotation at the head. That's another problem I wish was on a ball joint. Rotation at the arms. Arm moves out. And this does rotate separately, so you can get it like kind of lined up decently. Single jointed elbow. There is a bicep rotation, and there's a ball joint at the wrist, which is odd. He's got a waist joint, which kind of gets hindered here, but he does have an ab crunch, which goes pretty far forward. It's a little loose, but it does clip on into the screw hole, which I think is pretty clever. And of course, he has the port in the booty hole for a stand. He can kick decently forward and decently back, because Transformers don't got cake. And his skirts move out the way, and he can do splits. Holy, whew, Prime. He's almost grazing the floor with that crotch. Thigh rotation, single jointed knee, up and down, hinge, and then a bit of a pivot. There is no rotation, but I mean, he's got ankle pivot, everything. He is very solid. The only thing that really drags him down is the fact that he's a little small, but even then, he's not like microscopic. And man, just look at that silhouette, man. That just looks badass. He looks like he's about to face Megatron or the entire... He looks like he's about to pull like a Captain America in Endgame. And he's like standing in front of all the Decepticons being like, one shall stand, one shall fall. And then he just wipes through all of them. Comparison time. I feel like I've been rambling on a bit too long. That's basically every video for me. If it's a Transformers review, it's gonna be a long video because there's a lot to get through and I just ramble a lot. Here he is next to Marvel Legends Moon Knight. He is slightly under the 6-inch scale. Black Series, here he is next to a Kamino Clone Trooper. Let's get him more centered. And again, roughly around the same size. He's a bit bigger. For a 7-inch scale, here he is next to Jazzwares Halo figure and a McFarlane DC. Riddler, Master Chief from Halo 2. Again, of course, they're taller, but they're not really supposed to be in scale with people. And why not? Because I just got her a couple days ago, and we'll be reviewing her next. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Mantis. Whoo, doggy. By the way, there's going to be a lot of Guardians figures. I'm getting my paycheck. Actually, I got my paycheck today, so I'm going to be buying a lot of Guardians figures. That movie's peak. But we'll save that for the review. Here he is next to Studio Series Bumblebee from Rise of the Beast. And even though he isn't super large, they do look really well scaled together. It's just the head size that kind of kills it. And I'd compare him to a bunch of Optimus Primes, but this is my only movie Prime that isn't in the Legends or Core class scale. The only other Prime I have in like the Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader class scale is this Robots in Disguise Deluxe Prime. So yeah, it was pretty hype day when I found him. Funny thing, I was like looking everywhere for him, and I couldn't find him anywhere. And then I just gave up, and I was like trying to find an Axe Woves figure. And I went to Walmart, and what do you know? They had the whole Rise of the Beast like end cap display, and sitting there was one lone mainline figure of Optimus Prime, the only mainline figure they had that was like a proper figure, not one of those gimmick toys. And he was the only one they had, and I haven't seen him since, so it was definitely a steal. Although, I do have to say, whoever said that the mainline figures would be cheaper than Studio Series lied. I paid $36. All the Studio Series Voyagers are nowhere that expensive. They're more like $33. So I don't know what the hell was going on there. But anyway, here he is next to a G1 Prime, the only G1 Prime I have, because they oddly share a lot of similar transformation bits. And because Unicron's in the movie, here he is next to Galvatron from the Studio Series, who I will be reviewing soon. And yeah, they look kind of cool together. Here he is next to the Last Night Megatron, because it's the only like G1-y movie Megatron we even have. Hopefully we do see him show up in a movie soon, because I would kill to see what a G1 movie Megatron design would look in live action. We do have that concept art, which I did see that figure there too, and I took a picture of it. But yeah, I want a proper figure of it and look. But here he is next to Siege Megs, because why not? Of course, I do like, even though Megatron is a bit bigger because he's a bit smaller, I do like Megatron being bigger. Ooh, hiccup. Because it just makes him look more imposing. But yeah, now for transformation, he has a very simple and fun transformation. I've honestly had so much fun with it. And one thing I will say about this figure is the plastic quality is phenomenal. Not to drag like recent Studio Series like Galvatron and Soundwave, but I don't know, their plastic, it doesn't feel cheap, but like this plastic, it feels way stronger and more durable, and I honestly prefer the way this guy feels compared to those other figures. I don't know what it is, but he just feels like he can withstand time a lot more and just has a way better plastic feel. So yeah, another reason why I love this guy. But yeah, first you want to bring these feet up, push it down, you want to maybe come down here, bring that up, just get it down there, connect the feet with the tabs, and flip the trailer hitch down. Then for the torso, you want to bring the head down, angle that up, bring it down, close his titties, bring the arms up, I'd say, there. The arm thing's a bit confusing, but rotate this around. Then, yeah, this is I'm goofing the order, but you want to bring these around. Got the pegs there, holes there, peg that in. peg that in, bring that back, push the hand down, bring it back, rotate it up, and that tab will go under there, hold it in. Do the same on the other side. Fish should look like that. Then you got these tabs here. They're going to go into there. When you untab it, get it tabbed in there. Hopefully this is making sense, but then you want to splay these out, hinge it down like that. Then you want to bring that tab into that hole there. Hopefully this isn't just a blur. Then you want to flip this around, tab it in there. And that's literally it. That's the truck transformation. Now time to lower the camera because yeah, the camera's a little too high up now. Alright, here we go. Here's the truck mode in all of its glory. And I gotta say, it looks pretty good. Especially for such a simple transformation. Oh wait, you want to flip these out too. They might unpeg. I always forget about it. Flip the gas cans out. Yeah, I can't forget those. And now it is complete. And it is a nice looking truck mode, especially for a very not super complicated yet fun transformation. You know, here's the front. Got the kinda armored thing there. It's not perfect. Got the lights there. Stripe going on there. Stripe isn't painted here, but should be painted there to connect that to that. But, you know, still. Here's the side of the truck. Looks nice. Got the gas canisters. Is that what that is? Something. Come to the back. Got giant feet, but they at least tried to give it detail. You got that there. Even though it does go high up, it does compact nicely. Got some great detail in there. And of course, the trailer hitch in there. And all the wheels are pinned, so he rolls really well. It's just a really nice truck mode, honestly. It's really nice. I think that's what the lights there were supposed to be, maybe those. I don't know trucks. But yeah, got some nice silver paint there for that. It just looks nice, you know. It's nothing much to say, it's a truck. Got smokestacks. The fins do stick out a bit, but it doesn't bother me. And for weapon storage, you do just peg it in there. And this slots in there. And yeah, he looks nice. For comparison, of course, not to scale with a 6-inch figure, so there's no point even busting the rest of them out. But here he is next to that smaller Optimus Prime. They look nice. I just realized I forgot to transform the other Optimus Prime, so now I'm going to quickly do that because it takes like 5 seconds to transform them. Unless you just mess up the tab 50 times. But yeah, they do share a lot of similar details. I mean, it's just like, this is just a more complicated version of this transformation. Yeah, they do look nice. And here he is next to that other Prime. And yeah, hopefully one day I'll own a Prime with a trailer that isn't this. But yeah. And finally, here he is next to Bumblebee and Ratchet. They look great together even though none of them are scaled well. I'd say bring Prime forward a bit more. Maybe have them further in the back. You can't even see Ratchet. Maybe like have them further in the back and Prime a lot closer. It does look a bit better. But yeah, it's a very, very solid truck mode. I would compare him to Galvatron's truck mode, but I don't want to transform Galvatron. It's not the most fun. I mean, it's not bad, but it's a little complicated. But I'll just save the comparison between truck modes for the Galvatron review. So stay tuned for that. Also, go check out the previous reviews. I did review Ratchet, Bumblebee, and the one Megatron from the last night. So yeah. Let's bring the camera back up. And I'll give my final thoughts while I transform him back into robot mode. So I genuinely think that it is a really fun figure. One thing to note though, when you're transforming it, for a while I tried to do that and I chipped a bit of paint there. Just go under and do that. It's way more simple. But yeah, he's a really fun figure. Like the transformation's nice and smooth. Nothing's really aggravating. And even though it isn't the most insanely complex, it still gets a lot of stuff done really well. And leaves a really, like, pretty kibbleless robot mode. And although not perfect, still pretty solid truck mode. Especially for it being mainline. It's not the most complex transformation. The Studio Series will most likely beat it in every single way. But, you know, look at that. He's already done. He's a really solid figure. I highly recommend picking him up. As my only real Optimus Prime figure I have, I gotta say, he's definitely worth it. I remember getting him and just messing with him, and I was just like, oh my god, it's so great just to have a Prime. And the fact that it's a pretty solid figure is a plus. Of course, again, there's that Studio Series coming out, which will definitely blow him out of the water. But if you aren't able to get that, this is definitely not a bad figure. He's definitely solid. I highly recommend him. He's got great articulation, a fun transformation, really good robot mode, pretty solid vehicle mode, and even though he is a bit smaller, he still scales really well with all the other Transformers figures like Bumblebee, Ratchet, Megatron. So yeah, I thought the scaling was going to be the biggest problem of this figure, and it doesn't really bother me too much. Again, once I get Studio Series, this guy's probably just going to sit on a shelf. But oh yeah, little detail there, you can see those. They're actually sculpted right there. It's not painted red, but it's there, even though you can barely even see it. So that's nice. And yeah, you know, because that Studio Series probably isn't going to come for a while, so you know. It's nice to just have a Prime from the new movie. You can get it. You can say all the classic lines that Prime says in the movie, like, let them come. It's the only line I know because I've seen it meme to death. And, I don't know. You brought a human here. Barrage. Pete Davidson, how dare you. Yeah, he is a little ratchety in the legs, I gotta say. But, yeah. That's pretty much it for Optimus. Check out my previous reviews. There's gonna be a lot of Guardian stuff coming out, because I just saw the movie. Phenomenal movie, I might add. Check out my Instagram, MoonKnightXO. Talk to me there. Check out stuff that will get reviewed soon, even though I still have stuff from Christmas I haven't reviewed. I'll get to it. It's not popular stuff, like insanely popular figures, so that's why they're taking a bit of time. But still, I'll get around to them. Like, subscribe. Still got a couple more Transformers figures, and once I find more mainline figures, I will be reviewing them as well. Like I said, I'm getting paid soon, so we gonna be reviewing. So yeah, that's about it. One problem, you do have a giant hole in his chest there. So, no Matrix leadership, but you could probably stuff something in there. Hydra illegal substances when the police arrive. They're not going to check Optimus Prime, that's for sure. Because what is Optimus Prime's favorite thing to do? Hide drugs from the police while your house is getting raided. It's my favorite thing from the Transformers movies. Anyway, hope you have a beautiful day, and don't get stepped on by Prime during the middle of a fight scene, because I doubt he sees all the people there, and he's definitely probably stepped on someone with them big stompers. Also, you can kind of have him have a blade come out there. Also, salute. Peace out, my fellow Autobot brothers. That didn't sound like Prime, that just sounded like some hillbilly. Yeah, goodbye now.